This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.
Okay, good Erev Shabbos. Rabbi says we prepare for Parshas Shemos. There was a rabbi in New Jersey who told over the following story. There's an old woman in this rabbi's congregation. She'd been living in a nursing home, and she was in constant contact with the family. And unfortunately, the family gets the terrible news their mother passes away. And of course, her children who are from, they go to the nursing home, they take the body, and they give the mother a proper levaya, kilchasa, and they bury her kahalacha. And they're sitting Shiva. It's the 5th day of Shiva, and the phone rings. Daughter picks up the phone. Hello? And who's on the other end? It's none other than their mother, who they buried 5 days earlier. The woman cannot believe it. She faints on the spot. She drops to the floor. Nobody knows why she fainted. The family doesn't understand. But don't worry, because a minute later the phone rings again. They pick up the phone. Hello? They hear their mother's voice. How come no one's visiting me for the last 5 days? No one's come to visit me. They don't know what to do with themselves. They run to the nursing home. They run to their mother's room. Their mother's alive. They can't believe it. They're jumping up and down. It's like when Yaakov sees Yosef for the first time. So they go to the administrator of the nursing home. The administrator says, what? The administrator says there's some kind of terrible mix-up. There's miscommunication. It was the mother's roommate who passed away. It wasn't the mother. It was the mother's roommate who passed away. The chevra, there's some mix-up. They gave the wrong body to the family. So the family buried, eulogized, and mourned for someone wasn't related to them.
Sat Shiva.
They sat Shiva even. 5th day of the Shiva. It's an amazing thing. So now the administrator, he's so happy, Baruch Hashem, the mother's alive, and the family has their mother. But unfortunately, he has the terrible job of calling the family of the woman who actually passed away, try to explain to them that their mother passed away, but 5 days ago. So the administrator picks up the phone. He doesn't know how to make this phone call. Now another picks up the phone. Call. Hello, this is Mr. So-and-so. Your mother, Mrs. The woman says, Mrs. My mother? If this is about my mother, I don't want to hear anything about her. Disgusting person. Terrible person. We have nothing to do with her. I don't care what happened to her. I don't want to have it. We disowned her. Because that woman, we can't stand that woman. Because all she does all day is she says her prayers. What kind of prayers? She says her psalms. She calls it Tehillim. And she only prays for one thing. The only thing she prays for is that when she dies, she wants to be buried in accordance with Jewish halakha. And if we ever get our hands on her, we're going to burn her body. We're going to have her cremated. So if it has to do with my mother, I don't want to hear. The minister says, unfortunately, I have to tell you the bad news. Your mother passed away. He said, give us the body. We're going to have her cremated. Unfortunately, your mother passed away 5 days ago. Okay, whatever it is, we're going to have her. Unfortunately, your mother has already been buried. This woman, she prayed her whole life that Lachamei Vesim Shana, she should be buried kahalacha. What happened? Hashem turned over the world. He made the most unlikely events happen. That the administrator should call the wrong family, tell them that their mother passed away and they should bury this tzaddik as kahalacha. Why? Because she davened for it.
And not doing
And you see from here the koyach hatfilah, tremendous koyach hatfilah. We underestimate the power of prayer. We think, we go to shul, we daven, does it work, does it not work, is Hashem really listening? We underestimate the koyach hatfilah. Tefillah is so powerful. We say in Akdamos, Mehanya ba'usa, tefillah works. It works, there's no question. Whatever it's for, whether it's for banim, hatzlacha, shidduchim, parnasa, it works. It's effective. It helps. Ramban tells us, an amazing thing, Ramban says, that Klal Yisrael, they're sitting in Mitzrayim, they're languishing, they're wallowing in Mitzrayim, and they have to be there, they have to actually work 210 years. Says the Pasuk, Vayeyanchu b'nei Yisrael mino avoda. They're moaning, they're groaning, Vayitzaku, Vatal shavosam el Elokim, Vayishma Elokim esnakasam. Hashem listens to their tefillah. Says the Ramban, the simple psukim are telling us that Klal Yisrael needed to work in Mitzrayim a lot longer. So why was the avodah cut short? Says the Ramban, Hayaroi sheyisarich yoiser. that they should have worked longer. So why didn't they? Why did they work for so short? They davened. And because they davened, they got out of Mitzrayim early. They got out of Mitzrayim early. Why? Because tefillah works. Imagine, if they wouldn't have davened so well, they would have been Mitzrayim longer. It's because they prayed. It's because they davened the koyach ha-tefillah that they left Mitzrayim sooner. Listen to this Ramban. Baruch Shalom tells Moshe, take Klal Yisrael out of Mitzrayim. Moshe says, I can't do it. Can't do it. You know why? Like all Jews like to say, I'm not a speaker. I'm not a speaker, right? The first thing a Jew does when he gets up in front of a podium, right? First you say Parshas, and then you say, I'm not a speaker. And then you could say whatever you want, right? So Moshe Rabbeinu says, I'm not a speaker. Ish kvad pe'eg v'aloshen anochi. So Ramban has a very simple question. He's not a speaker. He's a kvad pe'eg v'aloshen. So why didn't Moshe do a very simple thing? He should have davened to Hashem that he should be able to speak clearly. If Hashem says, take Bnei Yisrael out of Mitzrayim, and the only problem is you don't speak clearly, so Moshe should say, Hashem, right? Oh no, Hashem, Hoshia, no, please make me be able to speak clearly. So why did Moshe do that? Ramban says, Moshe so badly didn't want to take the Jews out of Mitzrayim that he therefore wouldn't daven to Hashem that Hashem should cure him. So Ramban asks, so why didn't Hashem cure Moshe anyway? Ramban says, if you don't daven for it, you can't get it. If you don't daven for it, you can't get it. The Ramchal writes that in Shamayim, Hashem has treasure houses, storehouses of bracha, hatzlacha, parnasa, ready for every Jew. The only thing is, we don't ask for it. So Hashem says, you don't ask for it, you're not going to get it. You ask for it, tefillah works. Tefillah works. We'll just conclude, and just the Ramban on Shemos. And the Ramban says an amazing thing. Just think about it for a second. Here you have Moshe Rabbeinu, the greatest man who ever lived, the biggest tzaddik, the biggest Talmid Chacham, the biggest Anav, the biggest Yerushalayim. And even so, Hashem withheld from him the Koyach HaDibur. So you would think, a tzaddik like that, with all of his Ma'asim Tovim and all his Torah, if still Hashem decreed he shouldn't be able to speak, that's it. There's no way for him to get it back. No, the Ramban says, no. But if he would daven for it, he would get it back. What? All of his Torah, all of his midos, that wouldn't do it? No, that wouldn't do it. So sometimes in life, we don't know, why don't I have it? Because you didn't ask for it, that's all. It's there, it's waiting for you. All you have to do is you have to ask. Now one last Ramban, this is one of the most amazing Rambans in Kol HaTorah.
Why didn't he fix his speech impediment? Because he never asked for it. That's
yeah, right. Ramban, one of the most amazing Rambans in Kol HaTorah. If I were to ask you, what is the greatest proof that there is a God? What's the greatest proof? So we would say maybe the miraculous nature of the birth of a baby. The birth of a child, that's the greatest evidence to the existence of God. A sunrise, a sunset, the process of breathing, the process of heartbeat. Says the Ramban, this was the question of Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe Rabbeinu comes to Hashem and he says, Hashem, you want me to take Bnei Yisrael out of Mitzrayim? How can I prove to Klal Yisrael that there's a God? Moshe Rabbeinu says, V'omru li ma shemoi ma'oimar aleichem. When Klal Yisrael says, prove there's a God, what should I tell them? The Ramban says, Sheyagid lohem Hashem, sheyoyra hayra shalema ala metzias v'al hashgacha. Moshe Rabbeinu says, how can I prove to Klal Yisrael that there is a God who controls the world? So we would say, yeah, Moshe Rabbeinu should tell Klal Yisrael, go to a seminar, a Kiruv seminar, go see the codes of the Torah, go see all the miraculous things that... No. You ready for this? Hashem tells Moshe Rabbeinu, Ein lahem tzairech l'raya acheres. The Jewish people need no proof. Ki'im, only the following. Ki eya imahem b'chol tzarasam. I will be with them in their time of distress. Yikra'uni ve'enem. That if they cry out to me, I will answer them. Says Ramban, you know what the greatest proof that there's a God is? That when you daven, Hashem answers the tefillah. Listen to the words of Ramban. Vehi haraya hagedola sheyesh Elokim. This is the biggest proof that there's a God. What's the proof? That b'chol karenu elav. That whenever we cry out to Him, He answers us. Says Ramban. You know what the biggest proof that there's a Creator? Not the fact that your heart beats, not the fact that you could see, not the miracle of childbirth. The greatest proof that there is a God is that when you need something and you're in trouble and you cry out to God, every Jew can recognize Hashem answers his tefillah. And everybody knows in their own lifetime there are things that a person needed, things that people daven for, and there's no other way to explain how it happened other than the fact that we davened and Hashem answered our tefillah. Says the Chazon Ish in his letters, Chelek Aleph Siman Beis. He says, Chavivin Yisrael. Klal Yisrael is so beloved. Shein Srichin Shliach. We don't need an intermediary. We don't need to ask someone to ask Hashem something for us. He says, V'chol Barnash B'koichai Limtzai Toiv Al Yidei Tefillah. Every Jew has the ability to get greatness and goodness from Hashem through tefillah. Ha-tefillah hi mata oiz biyad kol adam. Tefillah is like a sword. Is like a powerful stick. You know, imagine if you had a stick, a magical wand, that you waved it, and you got what you needed. Tefillah is like a wand that Hashem gave the Jew. You use it, a powerful stick, says the Chazon Ish, v'chol sheyasem miftach bo yisbarach. The more trust you put in God through your tefillah, Kein Yala, to that extent you will rise up. V'chein yatzliach, to that extent you will be successful. So may the Rebbe Shem always answer the tefillas of Klal Yisrael, Barachamim u'Varatzayin, for good health, Parnas v'Revach, V'imali Hashem, Kol Mishal Seinu Tova B'Yas Gal Tzedek Meher V'Yameinu. Amen.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.